Listen up, people. What screws us up most in life is the picture in our head of how it is supposed to be. You know, life. First of all, we're not supposed to have a picture in our head. Second of all, I don't have a picture in my head, and I should. Listen, I will come back to what I was going to say. I have an important announcement right here. I got to interrupt everything to tell you that I look around and I only see a head. Am I supposed to have a head? Because I look around. There's my arms, my hands. I can see my knees very clearly, and my belly button. Okay, where is my head? I don't even have one. Was I supposed to? Because something could be wrong. I don't know. Was I supposed to have a head? Am I screwed up if I don't have a head? What if there are no pictures in my head because I don't have a head? I mean, that's all I'm saying. Now, there's more that I'm saying, but that's all I was saying until I said something else. Okay, now this is actually about making people wrong, like making ourselves wrong. Okay, I need to apologize now because some dumb person just called me, my best friend, and he wasn't supposed to. It was not scheduled. Okay, something happens that's not actually what was expected. Nobody gave me like a memo that this was going to happen, right? It's a surprise. All of a sudden, something unsupposed, unexpected happens, and it's wrong. Now, that's a perfect example of something wrong. All right, so now we're going to talk about something wrong. First of all, anything that isn't how it's supposed to be, it's wrong. So we learn stuff about how life is supposed to be, and if anything else happens, it's wrong, and it shouldn't happen. And then our life is screwed up. You see? So that's what screws us up most in life, is the picture in our head of how life is supposed to be, assuming that you have a head with pictures in it. All right. I don't really know what is screwed up. Is it like your head that gets screwed up, or... because something to be screwed, it has to be like a rotational type of thing, and it has to go up, and it's screwing. And I'm not sure about all that either. So life is not supposed to be screwed up. Okay, that's the presumption here. Now, it could be that a pattern of how it is supposed to be is actually just a pattern of how it's supposed to be. That's just one valid kind of pattern of how things could be, is that they could be supposed to be a certain way. So how we relate to life when life does not fit a particular pattern can include things like, excuse me, something is wrong, and life is so screwed up, and life is screwing up my life, and my life is getting screwed up by this particular linguistic pattern about how life is supposed to be, which is, you know, the whole basis of this whole audio type of thing. Now, that's obviously very screwed up, all that stuff. In fact, all of life. It's obviously very screwed up, and there's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing we can do about the fact that life is screwed up. It's just screwed up, and that's how it is. There's nothing we can do about the pattern of, here's what's supposed to be, and here's what's not supposed to be, and it's screwing up my life. In fact, here's what's not supposed to be screwing up my life, but look, it's screwing up my life. You see that? It's not supposed to be like that. That's wrong. And that's actually just another pattern in language. Consider that the key to life is finding out what screws us up the most. What in particular, not just in general, not just some picture in our head of how it's supposed to be, but the picture. You know, because there is a picture in your head, right? That one. That's the one that screws up. It's not all the pictures, it's just that one. Find the picture that screws up your life most. Okay, cool. You got it? Good. Now, that's the key to life, finding out what screws us up the most. Which picture is the picture, right? Okay, there you go. Now, instead, consider that we are supposed to learn linguistic patterns, and then we're supposed to presume that those patterns are the only valid one. That's how it's supposed to be. That one right there, that's the only way. The only valid one. Everything else is wrong. And then, if we ever find out that those patterns might not be the only valid ones, like there's enough stuff that happens that just isn't those patterns, where we start to think, wait a minute, I might have been presuming that that was how it was supposed to be, and it may be that there's lots of other ways that are entirely valid. Well, if that ever occurs to us, we are supposed to make ourselves wrong for presuming that those patterns were the only valid ones. We should not have done that. We should not have been so naive and innocent. Okay, people should not start out innocent. That's just stupid. Okay, we should not have been so naive and so presumptive and so wrong. Bottom line, we should not have been so wrong. It was wrong, and we shouldn't have been so wrong. Now, how do we fix making ourselves wrong? Well, we do not fix making ourselves wrong. Actually, we just continue making ourselves wrong, or we stop